They must be making so much money on this game as well, by the way.
I mean, it was already on. It was already on the mobile, no? So I would imagine so.
Yeah. It's on it. It was on everything but PC. Right.
And every person on my Twitter is basically saying, is basically saying, yeah, I've been playing this game. Sorry for not talking shit on Twitter.
Just gotta play the cool games when they're, you know what I mean?
True, big true actually. You gotta do what you gotta do, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone in the Brothers chat is wondering, it's like an Animal Crossing type game. Right now, from playing it myself right now. Pretty nice.
Just need to take a note of the sound levels. 16 minus 16.1. Yippee-yi-yi.
You planning on talking about the crazy North American drama?
Oh yeah, we can talk about that as well. That shit was.
I haven't that.
We can talk. Yeah, that's kind of crazy because they're putting so much value. They're putting so much value on that shit, and it's just irrelevant. That rank means nothing in this fucking game, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Control Monitor? How you doing, bro?
We got any North American professionals in the chat to inform us of what went down 12 hours ago.
I can try asking on Discord real quick.
Apparently someone had a meltdown on stream at 5 o'clock in the morning at UK time, from what I heard.
Yeah, Kimby, what happened? Like, cause you were watching the stream. You were watching the stream when that shit went down. You were watching. What's the guy's stream? Mendo, I think. Is it Mendo?
It's Midori.
Midori.
I got welcome gifts. Can I open these?
Holy, you're gonna get carpal tunnel.
What the fuck do I do with them?
I heckin' love mobile gaming.
Oh no, I'm just playing with keyboard the most. Maybe I should play with my PS5 controller. Start giving some gifts out. Give Pochi, my man Pochi, a gift.
Let me ask around Discord actually. Right. Rival put out a ban list of which include Midori and Midori. There's two Midoris? Oh, Dohat. Oh yeah. Can you come to my Discord, Dohat? You're one of the guests, so I can give you rights.
He's in
Yeah.
Discord. Just need to give him rights.
Oh, is it? How? Where is my Discord? Hold on, I think I've lost my Discord. If you want your character to be visible in game, just come to the casting couch and just AFK there.
Oh no, it's over for me, bro. They've got achievements in this game.
Oh
Goodbye,
no!
Final Fantasy 14. Dude.
Time for you to open a new Discord. Can you come to my Can you come to my podcast and talk about the NA drama and brief us in, please? Okay, let's see. Dohart. D. Am I like blind? Yo, can you tag me Dohart on? No, I think I see you. No, I found you. I found you, bro. You should be able to see the podcast channel now. Yeah, I see you, bro.
There we go.
Hey,
Hey, greetings. Thanks
hello,
for having
hello.
me today.
Let me just go someone else's Discord. Just invade their Discord real quick and just talk to them. So give me a sec.
I'm unironically having a great time on this Hello Kitty game right now. I don't know what that says about me as a person. You know. Ryan Hart, have you heard about this NA drama?
I have
Lem-
heard bits and bobs about it on Revival, and that's pretty much about it.
Okay, let me just jump Discord real quick and ask, because one of the people that said doesn't like feels like they'll get attacked if they open their mouth, which is weird.
Aww.
Got no kills.
Hello?
They did really bad damage.
Yo, Wind and Noodles, do you guys want to come to my podcast and talk about the NA drama? If anything does come my way, let them come try me. I'm basically
Let them come try me, bro.
Yeah, all that.
I'm down.
Okay. You're part of my Discord, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can we get my boy Ninsky in here too, or not? He's a rank 1.
No, I don't want to go in there.
Ah.
Don't be
Yeah, I
intimidated,
don't
man.
honestly know that much about it. I just know my own experience, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll if you I mean if Ninsky wants to join then he can, but yeah, let me just give you guys rights. So I'll see you on my Discord real quick, yeah?
Okay. Are you starting now?
Yeah, podcast is already there.
Okay, I will
Okay,
just watch
I'll
you guys
raid
on the
you.
stream.
Cool.
Let me go raid him.
I'm back. I think we've got a few NA candidates to talk about the drama. Did I get botted by someone? Did I get followed? Okay, thanks for follows. I guess. KUPO this. Oh. PvP podcast.
Holy fuck, dude! The follow noises. Wow.
Let's talk.
Jesus.
They're quite something.
Yoshi P and
Oh, you got raided. There you
the NA drama. Shout out to the raiding. I appreciate the raiding. Fushino Kaze with a raid. One sec, bro. I'll give you rights on Discord and you can come join. Oh, did my fucking game change? Why the fuck did he change to Final Fantasy 7? Bruh. Twitch, please. You're in the bar? Yeah, one sec. Okay, is the title changed now to KUPO this and Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 14, yeah? Sorry, I will be muting. I will be less interactive with chat once we start the podcast. Let me just set it up because we should be starting now. Okay, first of all, Noodles, my goddess. Let me give her rights. All right, Noodles, you should be able to see the podcast at the bottom if you scroll down. And Fushino Kaze. I don't. Yo, Kaze, are you on? Are you up? Hello. Let me mute Discord. Let me just quickly say, hey, yo, shout out to all the fucking, I don't know who the fuck raid bot followed me. Don't do that, but still, thanks. Shout out to the people that follow. Shout out to the first time chatters. Shout out to the raid from Fushino Kaze. Shout out to Bonbox Momo with a Prime Gaming. Holy. Thank you, thank you. Ninsky Cat with a follow as well. Appreciate it, guys. Bread. Okay, are they like, I don't know if they're real people or not. Shout out, if you're a real person, shout out. Thank you for the follow. Shout out for the love. We will be talking about NA. We will be talking about Yoshi P and all that. Let's go, let's go. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great little chat, as always. Banger content. Just Me Audi as well. Shame she's not on EU to come be the casting couch. Beautiful eye candy. There's no one at my casting couch. Can you guys please come to Phoenix? Sorry, Mahjong Tables Alpha Light be on my casting couch. EU, please, man. It's empty here. We need some activity. Where we at? Okay. Where's Fushino Kaze? Is he? Yeah, my casting couch is rather empty right now. All right. I thanked everyone. Okay, gang. Where's Fushino Kaze? Ninsky, in my chat. Do you want to join as well? I guess you play ranked a lot.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, my G?
All right, I'm back.
So I need to pull up this. Where was that? Was it on your Discord or on your Discord con? The copy paste.
Which you mean the
Of-
revival like
Yeah, the
thingy?
summary.
Yeah, I can send. I'll send it to you once. Let me find it. Here you go.
All right. All right, sweet. Holy. Can you guys see that? A little bit of doxing happening here. My bad, gang.
Is he
it's on
is
stream.
he is he doxing me again? Like the like 100th time, bro.
I'm so sorry.
Guy doxes me like 24/7, dude.
What's this shit? At season 12 Crystalline Conflict, the NA data center saw an unprecedented amount of win training, aka matchmaking manipulation. The intentional throwing of ranked games for the benefit or determinant of another player. Revival has zero tolerance for this behavior, and we do not want people who conduct it in our community. There were multiple coalitions of NA, you're not serious, bro. let me keep it.
Nah,
It's
that shit happens, bro.
I was talking to my PvE friends about it, like the PvP community is exploding and they're like, what's happening? I'm like, no, it's clicks having turf wars. Like that's all it is.
Okay,
Brad,
yeah,
do you want to play the song that I made? You know.
Oh yeah,
I made
play that
I made the
after.
song. Made the song all about this, bro.
Yeah, no, but just the wording here, bro, like rank is irrelevant, right? And this motherfucker is like, there were multiple coalitions. It just sounds so fucking retarded, bro.
It's bunker v bunker v bunker, man.
Yeah. My mans are fucking 20, 25 plus and they're still acting like they're in secondary school or high school, whatever the equivalent is, isn't it? All right, let's continue.
You know
reading
what
this.
they say? They never really grow up; they only grow old.
True, big. That's big. All right, where we at? Win training against others in brazen public during season 12. The result of which was holding a rank queue hostage for the last 2 days of the season. Revival's investigation of this affair included anecdotes, testimonies, screenshots, VODs, scoreboards, and other data which helped paint the broader picture, as well as narrow it on key moments. We have chosen not to publicly release this data, as it unfortunately tends to make these bad actors harder to catch, as well as expose who's coming forward to the harassment and retribution. What do you mean? You literally said this is the evidence you use, so why can't you just show it? Huh? Okay, anyway. The following users have been banned from Revival. Okay, so I quit Revival because I posted, you know, when Elon Musk did the Roman gang sign, I said, yo, shout out to all the white mages, enjoy your white mage power. And so I got fucking timed out for 24 hours, so I just left Revival Discord because these mods, these janitors are like, they need to play the game and not worry about the retarded fucking politics, fucking weird cunts. Anyway. The following users have been banned from Revival for matchmaking and manipulation during season 12 and beyond a reasonable doubt. Andros Lunari, aka PvP Bad Boy. Oh no, how will they stop from queuing up? Ash Kitamaru, aka Legendary Ash. Azlin Exo, Chelsea Bay, Emma Bay. Fat Cat Enjoyer. Garu Keto, Lan. Midori, Sarisa, and Shura. What the fuck does this say? Users marked with the asterisks have already been banned from previous offenses. And that is Ash Kitamura, Chelsea Bay, Lana, Lan, and Shura. Okay. All right. So releasing a list like this public is not something we have done before, but we believe there's no other path forward after the damage that has been brought to our scene. What damage, you fucking retards? There's the damage that's been brought to the scene is the devs not fucking listening and giving us the same fucking meta, the same fucking dead shit content, the fucking jobs being crazy imbalanced. What the fuck is this shit, bro? I'm actually getting mad just reading this shit. Who's this guy to fucking act like judge like judge and fucking executioner, bro. What are these trash people, bro? Like, what am I fuck am I reading? Are you fucking stupid? Like, what the fuck am I actually reading here? It does not matter what your reason for win trading a player is, or even just deciding to throw a game because of someone on your team. It's still win trading, matchmaking, manipulation, boosting, whatever you want to call it. This conduct ruins the gameplay experience of everyone that held captive in the game. Guess who's being held captive by the fucking development team of this game, guys? A certain player base. And shattered any semblance of competitive integrity. Competitive integrity, yeah? When we can't D-rank past plat. Okay. For anyone accused during this season, the result is that that the motivation of many players to even queue up in the first place is diminished. Okay, guys, what do you think? What's stopping you from queuing up this season? Is it because you guys there's too many win traders, or is it because you're not enjoying the meta? Like, can I get a quick roll call on the couch on the podcast of what's not making you enjoy ranked as much this season? Just curious. If anyone wants to chip in.
Fix the overtime. It's still not sorted out.
It's because every time that I queued up on any character, I was mark ignored at the beginning of the game and spammed before doing anything. And this happened consistently across every character and every time that I queued up, so I stopped queuing up.
Someone was basically actively harassing you, going out of the way
Yes.
to actively harass you. Okay, that's obviously don't do that. Yeah, sorry.
Wait, consistently across every character was that somewhere around the time when like the player scope thing basically took turn?
The what?
The player scope plugin, where basically can people track you by your ID and then figure out what all your characters are. Okay.
I think this one is separate. I think these guys are just basically basing it on this season where they think there's too much win trading happening this season. There's too many clicks trying to help each other. Basically, that's what's. But like, I'm basically asking in general, like a door, like what's stopping you from fully enjoying this new current season that you're playing? Is there anything that's stopping you from playing 24/7 or yeah?
Me personally, I'm gonna be absolutely real with you. I am a bit materialistic and I care a lot about my time investment, and I personally think Crystalline Conflict in its current state does not actually reward me well enough with the time I would need to spend to actually properly rank up. Like, it doesn't matter even which rank, it's the rewards are just terrible. Think like Criterion.
Yeah, I mean, that's a base take. Like, and everyone, I'm pretty sure literally every time we've had this podcast, everyone unanimously agrees that your time is just wasted playing Crystal Conflict, right?
Mm.
What about you, Fushino Kaze? What stops you from playing now and then? Is it the meta? Is it the people? Like, what's your experience?
I mean, I still play, but I think nothing really stops me from playing. But I think that the quality of the player base is pretty much really bad, and the win trading obviously happens too. So I can see how people would get discouraged about it, but nothing is being done about it. I mean, this has been happening how many seasons in a row? This is like it's a regular thing, but I think that at least people are actually like calling people out now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, EU had like a trial similar to this, apparently, like I think a while back.
I was the one who did that.
Yeah, go on.
What happened?
So
I trialed the person who was supposedly win trading in the group, and you know, it went as best as it could, and it became a meme. But it was more about like accountability. But you know, that it's hard to like do that when Square Enix don't ban people for like doing anything on this game. Like, I already had a big issue. I'm not going to name the Discord that uses bottom and the like plugins that you can get to use bottom, because like I outed a shitload of achievement people who were just bottom for achievements and banned them off the achievement server, which I run as well. And they were not too happy, and loads of them always shit talk me in that Discord now because I get sent messages about it all the time. But I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not normally a fan of like, you know, outing someone's name, because you know for witch hunting and shit, but like I just unironically feel at this point like it needs to happen because like the devs don't take accountability for it. So like you gotta get the players to actually do it, which is just sad.
That's what I'm
Really.
saying.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's. I mean, I don't. Like I said, this guy is not being transparent enough to show that what his his tools or his evidence of judgment of him coming to judge is like, oh, I don't want to show that shit publicly. But you've literally fucking named people here, so that you've thrown that shit out of the window. So you need to start showing some sort of scoreboard, some sort of videos. You know, some people can be like justified because right now you're basically, it's like, all right, just some random guy from some random Discord is just calling people out based on evidence they've collected. And, you know, the issue is players have to start doing extreme shit because the devs keep fucking ignoring them because they've left this shit to rot for how long now? So that's the big issue. But yeah, I guess, so the general idea was like, people are just, overtime is not fun. The quality of the standard of gaming is kind of shit. And Square Enix just ignores, doesn't ban, doesn't do any of that stuff. Who remembers Blue Ellie or Ellie Blue? That's a bot that was just streaming hacking, right? And the initial ban on him was 2 weeks until everyone started losing their mind. They're like, okay, we'll do it permanent. Like, how the fuck do you see someone literally visually hacking and you are like, yeah, let's just ban him for 2 weeks only? You fucked up the integrity of that mode completely for that period. Right?
Yeah, his hacks were like extremely egregious. Even like he did it both in PvP and also in what was the crossover called? Fall Guys. I've seen this footage.
Yeah, the Fall Guys like crossover event. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Ninsky says them don't really see any proof. Yeah, do you want to come chat, Ninsky? Are you confident in like voicing that stuff in chat or in voice, or do you want me to just read it for you? Because obviously these guys have committed to naming people, listing people, but they're not showing evidence, right? So it's only fair, in my humble. I mean, I could 100% see any of these guys win trading here, right? But it's only fair for everyone to be for everyone to be like, you know, like vindicated, like, okay, the community is taking care of business. But right now the community can't take care of business because we have to rely on some random fucking internet janitor's words saying, oh yeah, we've used this and that as evidence. It's like, it's not good. It's not good
that makes
enough.
sense. That makes sense. I understand that. But I can tell you firsthand, I've seen at least 80% of those people actually win trade in my games.
Yeah.
Like firsthand. And I stream all my games. I stream I never not stream my ranked games.
But like I said, I mean, obviously I'm gonna give the list the benefit of the doubt, but it's nice to like be apparent or like transparent with that information, right? Like if you're gonna commit to this degree. All right, Ninsky, you should be able to see the podcast section. I agree that most of the people on this list grief matches. Okay, so that's obviously all of you are like having a universal take here. So there must be some fucking sort of truth to that. But yeah. And that's the issue, right? The community like not liking these guys, the community like being forced to essentially bully these guys because the devs don't fucking do anything. They don't like listen to reports. They don't ban people. They don't time out people. Like, you know, they don't actively engage in watching top 300 fucking players. There should be at least a dev watching a game or two now and then just to see what the quality of the standard is. And if someone's misbehaving, boom, you know, start acting. But, you know, they've cut their staff so short. It's just so much, you know.
Yeah, what World of Warcraft does is they actually have a multi-rank 1 player who is a developer, or not developer, but hired by Blizzard that is in charge of DQing people or disqualifications at the end of the season and during the season. And I mean, granted, World of Warcraft PvP is a lot more, you know, it's larger, but Square Enix should probably do something similar.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that's a good way to get involved in the community, right? Like, your top 10 players, boom, just fucking hire them or reward them. Be like, hey, you guys play literally every day. Can you do some extra stuff for us? Like, that's a small take. That's good.
Yeah.
The issue with that though is that most of the top 10 are win traders,
Yeah.
especially on NA. And anybody could tell you that. Anybody who plays on NA that has the balls to tell you that most of them are win traders, that's just a fact. I mean, you just look back at the previous seasons and you see the same people up there all the time. And it's clear as day that they're win trading. And I could tell you, I played like I played every single season. I played since season 7 of Feast. These people just they go on doing these things because it never nothing ever happens, right? They don't get any kind of repercussions for doing what they do. So it's almost like there's no incentive for them not to do it,
100%.
which is fucked up because it's now you're fucking up games for not just for like everybody in your game, but now everybody who wants to get involved in the game has to be like, oh well, if I join the game, now I'm joining a game where everybody's win trading, like who is legit and who's not legit, right? And I think the real difference between legit players and non-legit players is that they show up for community scrims, pickup scrims, and we all pretty much know who each other are. However, there are people that get involved in these communities that are win traders because they want some kind of validation based on what they achieved by cheating, right? Otherwise, why would they do it? It's all about validation. It's all about, oh, look at me, I have a title. It's like, buddy, you got that title by cheating. Like, you have no balls. You're not a real person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the base game itself has no integrity, right? Once you get to top 300, you just basically you alt F4 and never touch the mode because you're not getting D ranks, like unless you're fully committing to like getting rank 1. And with rank 1 is you don't know who's using mods, you don't know who's fucking exploiting shit, you don't know who's has the more free time. There's so many factors to take into account. But I get it. Everyone wants a good standard of gaming, but the problem is we can name and shame these guys, but they'll still queue up, right? Like,
yep, it's true.
Yeah.
And there was discussion in another stream where they're like, well, how do you know all of them are guilty, right? Without the evidence, like you mentioned, like how do you know?
Yeah.
And that's the issue. You have to be transparent with that. You have to show them. You have to show the evidence. Otherwise, it's like you said, it's basically witch hunting. It's basically a hearsay. So if you don't show the evidence and you want to protect your evidence saying under the guise of, oh, if we show you how we do things, then we won't be able to show you this type of shit again. For me, I don't know if that makes sense.
It doesn't.
What happens to the people who submitted the evidence, right? Like they're gonna figure out who did it, and that person is going to get harassed more, right? Like how do you show the evidence without like opening up the people who make it possible to have that evidence to more harassment?
Well, wouldn't you be able to like kind of like blank out somebody's name kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they would know like what they did, right? Like if they go and they're like, "Oh, hey, I remember that match. Like I know who that person is, or I know that glamour." Like it's impossible to show in-game footage without outing those people.
I mean, that's 100% sure. People will harass, but I feel like, let's say I reported this. Let's say I report some dickhead for doing this, right? Like if they show this kind of stuff, I'll be okay with people trying to harass me. Personally for me, I just ignore them or block them. But obviously you can't do that because you're literally getting griefed in game, as you said, and the GMs are not going to fucking do anything about that. So that's actively affecting your gameplay, right? So I can see where you're coming from. So maybe they can do some sort of censoring where they don't show sensitive data or make it very obscure. But I feel like just because this is based on the community itself, right? This is based on the community itself. So if you show evidence, then the community have a platform, a standard to base these characters on. They're like, hey, boom, these guys did this. There was transparent evidence for this. There's justified reason for us to call these guys dickheads, right? Because right now, these guys, I'm pretty sure these guys deserve to be called dickheads, but right now, because there's no transparency, because someone's like, oh yeah, we are using fucking sick ways of calculating the data. You know, we're looking at fucking posts per second at APM to determine who's fucking win trading or not. And it's like, all right, clearly you're trying to fucking rub off one on yourself right now because you're trying to make yourself look big. And no one fucking wants to hear this shit, right? No one wants to care. No one cares what scientific fucking method you use to fucking get to the conclusion. Just show the evidence or show the parts that you can show. So that way the whole community can look at that. Like Fushino Kazu says, boom, these guys are absolute fucking wankers. Agreed. Okay, like how, like so you can hold a standard. Because right now it's like, you say these guys are bad, and then someone's just gonna say, oh, yeah, but where's the evidence, right? Boom, like that's gonna fuck up so many people. In a sense that it's going to cause so many unnecessary arguments. Whereas if you show the evidence or some degree to it, not all of it, if you show those that you can show, people can be like, you know what? Okay, I get it. Like, these guys deserve to be called out.
And if you think about it, right? Like, let's say you show somebody, right? Let's say you show somebody the evidence of somebody being harassed or something, right? I understand that, okay, if somebody can have some kind of concern about, well, what about if they come after you even harder now because you showed them being an asshole? Well, that kind of, we need to put that out for that to stop. Because if we don't, then that's even worse, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
It's even worse, and it gives these wankers here on this list a fuel. They're like, yeah, but they don't have any evidence. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh, well, see, now they're afraid because they know if they put it out, fuck you. Like, yo, come after me. You know my stream. Come through. I'm with the smoke. You know what's popping with me, bro. And even if you're win trading and using those fucking bots, you're not fucking with me because I'm better at you at the fucking game. And at the end of the day, bro, like these people are fucking geeks sitting with their fucking Cheeto stain sweaters and shit with Red Bull and shit, waking up every fucking day trying to play this game, trying to gain validation from a fucking game. Like if you need that self-worth from a game, you need to check yourself and like reevaluate your life. You need to go and touch some grass, read a book, go hug your mom, something. You know what I mean?
Real. It's not even validation from the game itself because the game offers no rewards. It's validation from these shitty fucking pocket fucking Discord communities that circle jerk each other.
Exactly. It's a cope Discord, man.
Yeah.
A lot of it is all cope, bro. It's like, oh, let's go and yeah, oh, Bubba, let's post this and talk shit about this and start little Discords and start bitching with each other. It's like misery loves company. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Come on, bro.
But that's the issue we're trying to avoid with this initial guy, because this initial person here is like, oh yeah, I'm the judge, jury, and fucking executioner. Yeah, show some fucking evidence so everyone can everyone can have their own assumptions, everyone can have their own takes, like you have to do that.
I agree.
If you want the community to have a standard. You can't just be like, hey, because I said so, bro. Exactly. Like, I'll tell you, right now.
We need to protect people, though. We have to protect people.
Of course.
Just like Noodles said. Yeah. We have to be careful when we release this stuff, right?
Yeah, that's why I brought her here, because she knows a thing or two. People definitely trying to shit on her, like, but she's actually a fucking good ass gamer, good ass person. So, haters stay mad.
Like if you want smoke with her, especially a woman, bro, come get that smoke from me. You can come to my stream. I'll give you that smoke. I'll give you that. Don't target no women. You're a pussy if you target a woman, bro. Especially if you're a fucking man. The fuck? You're a little rat if you target women. That makes you feel good? Nah, you're a bitch, bro. At the end of the day, man.
Bitch made communities. There you go. I'll keep it real with you right now. My PvP revival is not the answer to fixing this game. My Discord is not the answer to fixing this game. None of these shitty Discords, including mine, are the answer to fucking fixing this game. The answer to fixing this game is you fucking losers start putting some value on yourselves and realizing rank means fucking nothing. Like top 1 players have too much free time. They use too many fucking tools. They use too many fucking manipulations. And that's going to happen because it's a competitive game. We have to accept some degree of reality, right? In any competitive game, there will be...
Yeah, talk that shit. Can tell him what's up, bro.
Yeah.
You already know.
That's why it's like, for this to be effective, right now this is not effective because we're looking at this and it's like a meme. Like, right, I pointed out, like, This guy's like, oh yeah, the game's integrity is being affected by these individuals. No, retard, the game's integrity is being affected by the fucking neglecting developers of this fucking game. Because, you know, there's not enough content, there's no enough fucking meta changes. It's the same bullshit last season, the same bullshit this season. And then this guy's like, oh yeah, we've got this sick way of like exposing people that we're going to show you. You need to show some baseline fucking evidence. So that way people can be like, yeah, I get it, bro. I get where you're coming from. Like, these guys are actual fucking dickheads.
Yeah, I think Square Enix just needs to completely change the way they do game updates. Like even right now, outside of PvP, like what is there to do? We've had the same Savage Raid for 6 months at least, and the Ultimate was way easier than all the rest of the content. So they need to just add more of everything, in my opinion.
Not even that.
No.
They lock people out because, like you say about the Savage being out for ages, but that's not even an issue. The fact is, like, if you want to get this and actually go into the Ultimate on like any job, you're sitting there week by week, like having to wait. Like, if I got farm up and get like, yeah, for a caster, or yeah, I can go in there as a caster. Oh wait, I don't have a weapon. Yeah, gotta get a weapon from people. Oh wait, I don't want to play caster now. Maybe I want to play like melee. Oh wait, I can't do that. I gotta do like 3 or 4 more weeks for no fucking reason. Even though the raid's been out for 8 months.
Yeah, that's
actually
another
what
issue.
It's like not necessarily that they would need to like overhaul like the entire like what how much content they're giving us, but like certain amount of content simply would need to be actually pulled forward. Like think for example Eureka style stuff. If we generally just want anything to do like across the whole thing, we kind of need that kind of content earlier and not like X.25, X.35. You get the point. Like we got Bosja like super late, like halfway into the expansion, for example.
Yeah, it should just come out on launch and be just something you progress the whole time.
So this is one of the examples of Noodles being like, people just coming in a game, ignore marking and just playing to lose.
This one
Okay.
I don't think was like this one I don't feel like I was targeted, but like they put down those markers before the match started.
Oh, I
And
see that. Too
then
bad.
the ones
Yeah.
that say too bad. And
Yeah.
then if you look at like the scoreboard, like my team kind of just ran it down.
Okay. So people are just queuing up just to doom queue and then just throw the fucking game
This was
instantly.
literally like one of my very first games of the season. Like it was like my 3rd game maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
One of
That's
the
just-
reasons why I don't queue on NA, because this is what all the games look like every time I queue up basically.
Yeah, I mean, this is just cringe. Like, ignore marking and doing shit like this is just pointless because you're instantly demoralizing your team and just reducing the chances to win. You know, matchmaking is matchmaking. It makes no sense. You're gonna win most of the games. You're gonna climb whether you like it or not, as long as you play around the objective. Yeah, that's just low standards. All right, let's finish this one here. There are no winners or heroes in this story, only an entire Q population are losers for it. I mean, listen, you've clearly created more losers by doing this, because now you're dividing the community up even more by not fucking saying, like, this is some baseline evidence. We can't show any other sensitive data because we don't want people to get harassed. So now these guys are going to get harassed, and then by proxy, whoever they think had beef with these guys, let's say Fushino Kaze had beef with these guys, then he's going to get fucking bullshit. Obviously, he can take it, but then someone like else, like for example, let's say Noodles can take it as well, but let's say she's getting a flack for no reason, you know? So it's like, you're not helping anyone, you just divided people even more. So that's why it's important to like just be very solid and very like transparent. Not be like, not trying to gas yourself up, be like, yeah, trust me, that my methods are sick, bruv. You know?
I feel you.
Although this is far from the only source, win trading nourishes harassment, bullying, sometimes even potential stalking behind the scenes. I mean, hey, shout out to the stalker mod developer. What a fucking legend. Usually the goal of getting someone to stop queuing from the game, to leave the community, or even to incite public mental breakdowns. There may be more bans in the future. Conduct continues to be investigated. Currently, previous season, the conduct related to community events and tournaments. There's no excuse for this sort of harassment behavior from grown adults. Fact. And we will ban anyone that participates from revival. We don't care if you are the best player in the Final Fantasy 14 has ever seen. If that's the kind of person you are going to be, we don't want you here or at community tournaments. Okay? I mean, base take comes from a good fucking heart, I guess. This is just revival specific. Okay.
So if you
Cool,
think
cool.
about it, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it, okay, maybe he did it in the wrong fashion.
Yeah.
Maybe he did it because he didn't release the evidence or whatever. But at least something was done because SC is not gonna do anything, right?
Of course.
We gotta
That's
fix our own mode at this point. We have to almost not police, but you know what I mean? We have to at least do something to protect the community. Because, many people are not here anymore, right? Because they quit the game based on this bullshit that's happening.
Yeah.
People are built differently, whatever. But at the end of the day, we want to welcome people into the scene, right? We don't
Of
even
course.
have a basic thing to show you how to PvP. When you enter the game as a PvE or you start the game, there's all types of resources for you to get started. Hey, this is how you tank. This is how you DPS. This is how you heal. Do you want to go in with people or do you want to go in with NPCs? There's a bunch of resources there to help you to understand the game. But we don't have that. We had to create our own discords. We had to create our own, training regimens to help friends of friends. And then we have to go into other people's streams to understand the game even better than we understand it at that point. So I think that it's a step in the right direction, but in maybe the wrong delivery.
Okay. So like, what's a healthy way of because obviously there's lots of drama on NA. What's a healthy way of NA to handle like this bullshit? Obviously, without needing that, events are down. I mean, it boils down to getting assistance from Square Enix because it's their fucking game, their rules. But as a community, what other things can NA do to make it a good standards of fixing their standard of matchmaking or anything like that?
Man,
What
that's
other
tough.
approaches? Yeah.
I have to think about that one.
They could do they've got the Hall of the Novice for PvE. They need to do Hall of the Novice for PvP where they teach you about line of sight and cleave and
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
all of your buttons and recouping and stuff like that. I think that would help.
So basically, like a Hall of the Pups, where it actually teaches you the fundamentals of the game.
Right.
Yeah, because I will tell you, as somebody coming from PvE, I've done hardcore raiding for years. I came in and I did not, for a very long time, understand line of sight was a thing. I just didn't think about it. It just wasn't something that I had ever had to consider in this game before as a brand new PvP player. And just that one day somebody was like, maybe get behind a wall sometimes. Holy shit, you just changed my life. Stupid little things people just don't know. And when you get that one tiny little thing that clicks into place, suddenly the game mode makes a lot more sense and they start improving.
Yeah, then you actually get to stay alive a lot more rather than just getting insta-kipped by the next dragoon around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not a lot in PvE that prepares you for what you need to know in PvP. It's just there's no way. I've been talking to a lot of people about this lately. How the concepts that you learn in PvE. It makes a lot of sense, the way people prioritize being on the crystal, right? And they want to fight around the crystal because everything else in this game is here's the objective. This is the thing that you focus on. And it takes a lot to break people out of that system of how they understand the game, I think. And there's absolutely no instruction whatsoever on any basic things about.
This is honestly something that would benefit PvP as a whole, across all game modes, because quite honestly, Like I haven't been in large scale PvP, for example, in an expansion by now, like basically since 6.1 launched. But I could absolutely see a lot of issues being like at least lessened if we had a bit more general knowledge being dished out that way.
Did you
So
did
you
you
know
not see
how
my post that I did?
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, you know the post that I did on forums. You saw that, right?
Oh, I saw that one.
Yeah, so
So like on that one, I have like that we need new player onboarding, right? Like I go even further. Basically, I say here that you know we need the folder arena to teach basic mechanics, like you lot said, but we also want the fucking them to do something even more standard that's in the industry right now. You know, when you go to the PvP page, you show how a skill is used. You show a little video how the skill is. You know how they have it in mobile games, how they have it in like in Overwatch and stuff like that, where it just shows you what the skill does and how people use it.
Mhm.
Like they also need to do stuff like that. Like if you go to the PvP page now, it's just text. Like, you know, if you go to the job
Right.
PvP, it's just text. There needs to be videos. There needs to be like ways of showing you how to
Right.
play the game.
like Black Desert, they show you an animation
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
it
Perfect.
shows
That's a
you
perfect
right.
example. Yeah, that's a perfect example.
What I think also is that you know how there are a lot of content creators for Final Fantasy 14, like for instance, raiding or Eureka, and there's all types of tutorials. There's at least like 20 videos on the same raid and videos and stuff like that. I think that um, there is stuff like that for PvP, but I think there should be more. Just because I think um, there's people that put in the time and effort into discords that give you guides and stuff, but most of it is text, right? And I think people are okay. You can be a visual learner as well and read the text, but it's just like you said, if you have some kind of visual representation of like a something actually happening in the game, like for instance, like a clip out of a game to highlight what mechanics you're trying to achieve, that would be a great help to PvP in general, because then people can actually see. They'll be like, okay, what am I doing wrong? This is what LOS is, or this is how you secure burst kills, or how you synchronize burst kills, or this is how macros work on in the game, and this is what this means in the game, so that you can fall back, and this is why you need to fall back. All these different things for you to succeed in the mode. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we have more videos and more content, I think would definitely help the community in general.
I actually
What's-
think making
ahead.
videos is kind of obsolete in this day and age. So instead,
so?
what they should do, yeah, I think. So what other games that interact with their player base a lot more do is when a streamer, is streaming their game doing PvP or something, they do like a community spotlight for it, and they do this a little bit, but I think they should do it more. And then people are able to just watch the stream and then learn from watching the stream, rather than like watching a video on YouTube. Because the thing with videos on YouTube too is, like, if someone made a video about last season, it would be like completely irrelevant to, well, not completely irrelevant, but mostly irrelevant to this season. Like we went from like a healer meta to a burst meta, for example.
I am inclined to disagree with that. Not on the meta specifics, but there's a lot of generic information. For example, with how the current netcode changes have been implemented. Like even with like some actions now sped up, like the game is still grossly misunderstood compared to how PvE is currently solved, and I'm going to assume that for the foreseeable future, this would still be very relevant and very important to actually know.
I mean, the fundamentals you do want it like in a video format, or you want it like in a visual
So,
format, for sure.
I'm doing Primal Pit, and I've been trying to get as much LP experience as possible, and I've been doing a lot of the customs that Tamari runs on Monday through Wednesdays.
Mhm.
And it looks like she's trying to set up workshops where she has specialists come in and talk about jobs and stuff, and they're workshopping ideas for like talking about things like positioning and like other things that will help you succeed. So there is a community that personally I have found like has been a great community. It's one of the best places I've found in PvP. That they're trying to put together classes essentially for people to attend and potentially maybe record. Like maybe tell them to record it. I don't know. But yeah,
That's it.
definitely support
And
Tamari
it needs to do,
and Tamari's
and it needs to
scrims.
be more of that. Yeah, and that
Definitely.
sounds like a positive thing to do as a community. Like, and they definitely needs to do that. But just to add to Ninsky's thing, where the Final Fantasy 14 devs do a community fucking spotlights where they play the mode. We had them do 2 EU ones. On the first one, they didn't know what skills a warrior had. On the second one, they didn't realize why they were being held hostage for 20 minutes. So the problem is the devs don't understand the basic fundamentals of the game. So if a dev is coming into the stream doing a community spotlight and doesn't know what recuperate is, then how am I going to expect the average Joe to know that? Like when I'm seeing the dev team itself do that, even if you're a community manager, let's say you're a community manager, I want you to put the minimum fucking effort to be like, let me just read up what the basic fucking skills do. Guard, recuperate, and so I can maybe showcase a newbie standard of gameplay. Not everything is a meme. Ha ha ha. The community is having fun. No one's fucking having fun because we're playing this shit every fucking day with the same fucking meta. Bored out of our fucking minds. You're overpowering green jobs for no fucking reason. There's no fucking animation cohesion. The monk has different animations across all their skills. They can cancel their own abilities by mistake. They can use Wind's reply by mistake instead of using a combo. It's so fucking dumb. Like, at least play test your own game. The community managers at least play 1 or 2 practice games before you just do something. Like, please, man, put some love and effort into this community. That's all I want to see. I don't see any love and effort. Like when Yoshi P said he loves PvP, where the fuck are we seeing his love in this? Well, is anyone experiencing Yoshi P's love in PvP? Can anyone honestly tell me that?
Not really, no.
Nah.
Exactly.
Not really, and I think
Nah.
this would be a little bit difficult to even receive. Like, this is going to be tough love, but because of how they generally view their priorities on who to balance PvP for. Like, you may have noticed as last expansion, a lot of balance patches where everybody just scratched their heads while they're buffing Dragoon, what the hell, and kept nerfing Bard and White Mage. It's because they, for about 80 to 90% of the time, they mostly just balance the game or change the game for the Japanese player base. Because they quite literally just had a Bard White Mage meta across the entire time.
Okay.
So I think when they did those Bard nerfs, they did them based on LP, which is late party. Bard was really strong in late party. Then they nerfed them. I think that was during Endwalker, right? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was just over LP because there wasn't really that many bards on Japan in rank Q at that time. It was a weird nerf though, but that's what we determined. It was just an LP thing. Bard was really strong in LP,
which is interesting. Like, I understand balancing for LP, like they have done this multiple times, but there is so little ways to reasonably make use of LP. You'd think, hey, why don't we actually balance around ladder?
right? Yeah, I
mean,
oh, go on.
No, I was just gonna add to they removed team ranked, right?
Yeah.
There was team ranked in Feast. Then when CC came out, now there's no ranked. They left a map on. We haven't seen Astragallos for how many years now? 3 years now? 4 years now?
Longer.
When did Hidden Gorge come out?
Stormblood, I think.
Maybe right. Yeah, Stormblood.
And they were both
along
available.
with Astragallos.
Yeah, and they removed Astra and I think the end of Shadowbringers, right?
I think it was I think it was the end of no, I think it was the beginning of Shadowbringers.
Shadowbringers, the beginning. Could have been.
specifically when Hidden Gorge came out is when Astragalus was basically put on hold because they want to say, hey, go play this new map or you'll try to fix the old one in the meantime.
Yeah.
So which was 2020 in almost start of April.
5 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
close to 5 years now.
So balancing based on LP literally is not. That's logically it doesn't make sense. Like, how are you doing balancing based on stuff that the community organizes? The only logical thing would to be based on the latter, right? Because that's the only data that you're actually receiving. Otherwise, you have to go to streams and you can't gain the actual hard data from watching streams. You have to actually gain it through the system that they're using for the ladder, right? For ranked and all
100%.
the ranked games. So why would you collect data and then make balance changes based on LP that they don't even monitor like that?
But the thing is, they even mentioned in one of the fucking newsletters, whatever the hell they do, is they collect data from unranked games and they use that to balance as well. It's like,
Unranked?
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if someone wants to look into this. I'm pretty sure they mentioned in one of their newsletters.
That's
Like,
fucking crazy.
they actually collect data also from unranked. All sources of Crystal Conflict, they said, we use to make reasonable balance changes or something along those lines. And I just think, like, personally, I'm an extremist. I want them only to use top 300 players to balance the meta around. It's irrelevant after that. Like, these people play every day. These people know how to understand meta. These people know how to make builds. These people know how to have game sense. So balancing certain things around them is just going to be fluid across the whole board. Because if you're balancing a job that can pub stomp in a rank from bronze to gold where you're not getting deranked or getting punished, it's pointless. You know? It's like, it's not really
agree.
rewarding.
Yeah, I agree. It should just
And
be
a lot
top
of those
300.
people. Go ahead, bro.
No, that's all I was saying. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say a lot of people in unranked and bronze and silver games, those people don't even press buttons, bro. They don't even press recoup. They go in and die. Then they go in and die again. And then they repeat and repeat that for the whole match until they lose. So like, how does that make any logical sense to gain data and change data based on players doing that? Because they don't understand the game mode. Maybe it's not their fault. Maybe they just go in and they're trying to have fun. But at the same time, you could there's a specific mode to do that in, right? You join casual and then you go into ranked based on what you learn in casual. So in casuals, if you do that makes sense. Okay, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me figure out the buttons. And then when you go into ranked after learning what the buttons do, then you start understanding, okay, this is what the meta is. So let me try to apply what I've learned and try to figure out what the meta is. And if you're thirsty enough for knowledge, you'll go to outside sources to get that knowledge because it's not in the game. So you'll join a Discord, you'll look up a YouTube video, you'll go to somebody's stream, you'll see somebody in game, they have their stream in their search comment. You'll look at their stream, you'll try to understand what's going on. But I think because ranked is so saturated now with players, people don't even care about that. They're just trying to get XP and do it for different reasons other than being competitive. Y'all agree with that or no?
I agree with that, but I also want to add that self-improvement is actually very, very hard, right? If it was easy, every motherfucker would be a fucking god gamer, right?
Yeah.
So you would.
I feel like it's really, really difficult to find good feedback.
And
Fair enough.
The only way that I started learning was Q sniping streamers and listening to what they said about me and trying to figure out why they said it. And then like slowly over time, like I would fix things about my play, but like that's literally all I could do because like I don't know, it's people give bad feedback. Also, it's hard to learn if like, you know, in casuals, they're not playing well, right? Like game sense is so hard to develop when people are just running around and doing whatever the fuck, right? Like
Right.
you learn wrong.
No, but for the
Things that
specific.
shouldn't. Or I was saying, like, the classes have too much self-sustain, so like you're baited into thinking you can do things that your job is not supposed to do. So like you'll be that bard that stands on point and it's just like, well, I'm fine because like I can recoup and run away, and oh look, I held the point for so long, and hey, you know, let my team regroup, and like it's genuinely really hard, and like because of the way that people express their, like the way that the people are just not good at giving feedback. I'll just say that. Like,
Fair enough.
Personally, I think they should have a minimum 50 game win per job for you to even play that job in ranked. Well, just maybe that's just me being too toxic, but I think reasonably, after you've got about 50 wins in a job, you should be allowed to play that in ranked, because then like, you know, you've had to play the game because there's too many MFs at the lower ranks, especially as well, where they just. And you know, I'll criticize some people, including myself, doing that in Crystal as well. When you've never played the job and just going in and trolling everyone else, even when you're not playing that job at like Crystal level, it's just not good. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
you can be either one of the people doing it or one of the people on the receiving end, and it's like as soon as you see X person and you already know they play like Scholar or something, and they're like rocking up on Warrior, you're like, nah, I've never seen this MF ever on Warrior in ranked Crystal
Yeah.
matches. Nah, there's no way I'm winning this match. Then he dies like 7 times, and you're just like, oh god, there we go. Of course, that was gonna happen. So yeah, I do think there should be like at least a minimum 50 winning casuals. Personally, maybe you can put it to 25, but like, yeah, I feel like you shouldn't just be allowed to just jump into ranked out of the gate. I'll be honest, with 0-0 wins on anything. It's just you don't learn anything by doing that, and you just, and to be honest, the people who are doing that as well, they just frustrate themselves because they get in like this loop of not even getting out of gold or anything, and then just get frustrated with themselves.
Yeah.
But that's my personal take on that.
I mean, I agree with that. Even for PvE, right? When you finish your PvE training dungeon shit, they give you a literal confirmation. Like you have to click I accept, right? Like, hey, do you accept you're going to behave well and try to fucking do the dungeons properly for your team? Boom. Why is that something like that not in PvP just before you start queuing up for rank? Like, hey, do you accept not being a fucking utter dickhead and play to win? You know, boom. And then these are the precautions if you don't. You know, just so people can take a moment to think, to pause, or the new people can pause, like, okay, this shit is serious. Let's just do it, you know? Because if they did it for a basic bitch dungeon, why the fuck can't they not do it for a competitive mode? I feel like, yeah, that like simple things like that, it's already in the game. They can just implement in different ways. Like this is not adding new stuff. This is just copy paste. But to further add to that, self-reflection and becoming better is very difficult. Like if everyone could do it, everyone would be, like I said, good gamer. But a way to get good at that is by, like you said, like when Noodle said that the NA is doing good things. They're creating communities where people are going in to learn. They're creating workshops. A good way to become better is to get yourself involved in stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like Discord communities are a double-edged sword, obviously. But then if you're doing this stuff in-game, like being interactive in-game, Americans in general are just more social in-game, right? So it's a good way to learn, communicate. So that's a good way for the American player base to just improve like their understanding of the game by a lot. But yeah, it's like self-improvement is big, but it's very hard to do. Like when you say it out loud, it sounds very simple and stupid. It's like, hey, I don't understand how this
I
works.
suppose you're right. I didn't
Yeah.
think of it like that. So yeah, kind of opened my mind to something.
Yeah, it's like for you, it's like okay, now this for you, you're like okay, I've reached my plateau here. Let me look at some people. Let me see what they're doing. Then boom, you know, you found a way to move up from that plateau. But most people be like, okay, I reached my plateau. I tried something once or twice, it didn't work. I guess I'm really bad. They start hating themselves. You know, they don't know how to get past that loop.
maybe that's a maybe that's a mindset. Maybe that's a personal level type of thing.
Yeah, but mindset is also part of the mindset is also part of like becoming a better gamer, a better person. You know, that's part of the skill, baseline skill that you need. It's like
I mean,
huge.
for me personally, having fun is improving. That's the thing. I like to improve. So when I play bad, like for instance today, I played white mage for the first time. Right? I'm a terrible white mage, but I ask questions. Like I'm like, okay, what does this do? Okay, so I was asking Ninsky and Noodles and a couple other friends. I'm like, okay, so can I buff this somehow? Or I just ask questions. So I think more people should ask more questions. Maybe you know what I mean. And I know it's a kind of a like a grand thing to ask people to ask questions, but I don't think how I don't
But
see how it could hurt.
I have asked questions since the beginning, and a lot of
Yeah.
the answers that I got for a long time were like, "Oh, this is just this is something that is just like you should just know this." And it's like, "Okay, well, nobody ever talked me through the thought process of things, and it
Yeah.
wasn't until I was able to spend a decent amount of time like in comms with people in games in LP that a lot of concepts like clicked into place, and like it's it's also not hard to know where to ask questions, right? Like if you're new to the scene, you don't know who's good and who's bad. If you don't know who's good and who's bad, how do you know if the advice you're getting is good, right? Like I'm coming from this as like somebody that had to work from the very bottom, right? Like I came in with basic, like the only other like competitive game experience I had was League, and like the only line of sight I would think about was like flashing over walls. So like it was just, I will say from personal experience, I am somebody who seeks out knowledge. Like I do PvE at the highest level. Like I want to be good at the game, and it took me a very long time to find a place where I was actually able to learn anything, because people are bad at the game and bad at teaching. And people who are good at the game are not necessarily good at teaching. And it's
Right.
just the people who like want to make content are discouraged from doing it because maybe they're not the best player on the ladder, right? Like they're like, oh well, maybe I don't have that much to offer because like I get to crystal but I don't feel like grinding, or like it's not about people not wanting to learn, it's about there not being good environments for people to learn in.
Okay, just to add to that, this is not something people really usually like take into account. But when you're an absolute newbie, any advice is good advice, because if you're getting a bad advice, then you know what that bad advice is, and then if you're getting people that control you, then you know where the snakes are in that proverbial garden. And if someone betrays you, you know who the dick it is. So any information you start gathering as soon as you can might waste your time here and there, but in the overall grand scheme of things, it'll be very valuable. So if I were to ask someone about like warrior advice and they're giving me stupid shit, and eventually I find that out after making 1,000 mistakes, then I will know, right? I've learned that. So like I understand where you're coming from. Is the advice valid? But when you're a new person, any advice, any communication, any information that you can absorb is absolutely valid, whether it's good or bad. Like that's just the way I approach things. Yeah, it helps me climb. It helps me achieve things in life. It's a very valuable tool.
Yeah, and I think people with the mentor status, I think it's just an icon at that point. Because I genuinely try to help people, right? But for instance, like the other day, I had somebody who was struggling in the den. Like I could obviously tell they were like, you know, kind of griefing, not griefing, but like kind of just like upset. Oh, I can't get out of gold. And I went out of my way to try to help them. I'd be like, dropped a link to the stream. I knew the class that they were playing, and I got into a VC with them. And I think it's a personal thing. Like it's almost like people almost, you can't help people that don't want to be helped. You get what I'm saying? And at the same time, if you're a mentor, I think it's like not an obligation, but you should try to at least try to help the people around you that you see are struggling.
Yeah.
You know, I try to help whoever, even if I'm not great at the class that they want to be good at. I'll try to look for somebody to help them with that class. Like for instance, like if I know somebody who's good at Bard, I'll try to get that Bard player to help this new player that wants to get good at Bard, right? And I think that's what the mentor status should be, right? And I think a lot of people just get the status just to have it. They don't really actually help. Like how many mentor status or mentors have actually helped you in the game? Person.
Hey, I did.
That's
Personally,
great. That's excellent.
Yeah.
personally, I'm just always correcting mentors, but you know,
And Noodles has a point. You know, some people, you know, can teach, and some people can't teach. Right? Some people they're just good at the game and probably don't give good advice.
yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
like some of the worst advice that I would get would be like, do this. And I'd be like, why? And they're like, well, I don't really know. It's just intuitive to me. And it's like, okay, the thing is, it's not intuitive. You just learned it so long ago, you don't remember how you learned it. Right.
Mhm.
And I feel like those people are just not necessarily the best teachers for people just getting into something. But like the advice that I got from people like that, now that I've gotten better, I understand it. And there's just it's hard to bridge that gap, right? Like there's no because because the community is so small, you have people with such like in the same crystal lobbies, you're going to have people with wildly different actual like skill level, right? And that doesn't happen as much in other games. So it's
Yeah.
not as apparent, I guess.
I love streaks. So yeah, with that vein in hand, then a good way, for example, to start making people improve as a community is the forums, right? We can all agree that the forums are useless for the English
Yes.
part. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I have
like,
seen this time and time again.
yeah. So in the other Connor and Doe can speak on this because they know more than me. So in the other sections, they have community managers, right? And they have mega threads and stuff. But our English forum is just people frustrated, complaining. There's no productive criticism in the forums. There's no guidance criticism. There's no people asking. There's no people asking questions about certain builds or certain jobs. There's no builds, but jobs. There's just people just fucking complaining. There's people like saying random shit like please buff Monk when Monk, you know, was the god of gaming. So like let's start with the fundamental itself. That's the one point where they can do very little to start improving the game a lot, especially PvP. Like what changes or what do you think they should add to the forums or like information they can convey via the forums that you think would help benefit the newbies and ranked overall, or like the baseline player knowledge understanding?
The first thing I mean, putting aside like having an actual community representative like KUPO back then,
Yeah.
I think the first thing that we generally need is like okay, yeah, it has some stickies that says okay here's how you report PvP incidents, etc. But there's like nothing actually highlighting, hey, do you have questions about the game? Ask other players about this. Like nothing is inviting. Also, PvP is actually like a very small subsection of the forum. It's not like general discussion.
Yeah.
So it's actually
If you
really
can
tough to tell.
if you can hear my
how much
typing,
you
I
could have.
apologize. I'm just writing this down so it's like people can visually.
Yes. But yeah, generally speaking, I never actually feel like we have anyone actually reviewing anything we write.
Yeah.
Like it's more like almost just a dome of players like screaming into void, but you will never
Yeah.
Like
know
a
if
venting.
anyone actually take. Yeah, we're basically just venting there, but you don't know if someone of like the GMs is like, hey, CS3 Japan, hello, they're having problems. Can you look at this?
The only
There's
time
no
they monitored this
transparency
shit
about
is when I told them to, I made a post and they started getting like 30 plus likes. And when I said, yo, devs, can you start fucking earning your bread? And that's the only time they got involved. I've never seen them get involved outside of that. So clearly they're watching and clearly they want to censor me and clearly they care about the image. But I wanted to give a fuck, less of a fuck about the image and more of a fuck about their player base and the people that are dedicated to this fucking shit and this mode. That's what I wanted to.
The problem is they are affecting their image by not caring
Yeah.
about their image, because the lack of communication is affecting their image, even though they
Yeah.
feel like, oh yeah, you know, we'll communicate when we feel like. But the problem is that they're not communicating enough. Therefore, that is affecting their actual like reputation, because a lot of the player base now are just like, well, why should I care to play this game if like the developers just ignore literally everyone? They just do like a, you know, a Blizzard entertainment of you think you do but you don't moments, and like, you know, we know what the game players want. You just don't know what you want. And the thing is, the players don't even ask like that ridiculous things, like, you know, like bloody had cloud. Like, I don't even play on America, but I played on the cloud server, and I can totally understand if you're on the East Coast America or like Canada or somewhere. Like, yeah, you don't want to like have to deal with having crap ping to like California 24/7. It must be horrendous. Like, I already have like
Sure.
Brexit internet, as we like to call it in the UK, and then people get annoyed by it because of the routing. And like, I can imagine it's not even anywhere near being on like the East Coast, getting into the West Coast, and they could fix that with like infrastructure that they can pay for, but they just refuse to pay for it because they're just greedy, literally. Is the best way to
Hey,
describe it.
But see, I think what we're doing right now is an important thing. I think what this podcast, just having open conversations, is very important for the community to develop in general. Because you know we can make forum posts, we can make videos, but at the end of the day, if we stream and we talk about these issues, it 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 reaches the audience, and the audience starts thinking about it. They start telling their friends, they start having these conversations, and that makes more spotlight on the issues that we're having, and hopefully it'll reach the people, the devs, right, at the end of the day, because we want this game more to flourish, right? We obviously all play the game, right? We love, you know, what we're playing, but at the same time, the issues that we're facing makes it not as fun as it can be. So I think that having conversations like this as a community is extremely helpful. So I appreciate you, Bretta, for doing this, man.
No problem, bro. I'll even take it further, further step. It's I think we just need to basically help spread word of mouth, right? Like we just want people to be aware, to have a higher standard, to expect more from these devs. Because right now, 100% all of us are feeling neglected, right? Like
Yeah.
we know we can all agree that Yoshi P was a Giga Chad. He saved the game. His vision was amazing. But right now we're not seeing any of that love or any of that vision. When's the last time they've gone out of the way to put some effort and love into the community? They did 2 EU events, and the community managers that did look like they didn't want to be there. Like, I don't know. Like I said.
Yeah,
But,
WoW had that same problem as well. Like back in Warlords, when Holinka was a PvP dev, he used to do community live streams, and he would be clicking all of his abilities in random battlegrounds, doing the lowest damage, just completely clueless.
I agree with that.
But I think rather than community spotlights, they just use the main Final Fantasy channel to host someone who is actually good at PvP that streams regularly, and then people who are subscribed to Final Fantasy 14 will see someone who actually plays the game play the game, and not just like some random developer that they're forcing to figure it out on the spot and not look like an idiot.
But just to
Problem
add
is-
nuance, hold on, let me say that. Just to add nuance to what Ninsky said, you have to realize for anyone that does not play World of Warcraft or isn't familiar with it, they had a lot of leadership changes. Final Fantasy has none of that, so it's like no excuse for this level of neglect. Basically, I come as a WoW refugee, so I see where he's coming from, right? I experienced the neglect that we received because of like bad leadership, right? It took them a long time. It took them literally like years of like frustration, like burning bridges for them to finally just change their core leadership. And obviously that's not going to happen for Square Enix, but clearly the person that did save this game had love for it. It's like, now we just have to ask that question. Where's the love now? Can we see it? You know, where's the effort now? Can we see some love from the team? We're paying for a service and we're getting no communication. Like we're getting daily communication about fucking Marvel Rivals from someone in fucking Guangzhou, bro. Doesn't even speak English. How the fuck can you? What's the excuse there? Same
Shout out
distance.
Guangzhou, bro.
Yeah, same issue of communication. My man he's talking on a daily, talking shit on Twitter. He's making memes. Where is that for Square? Like one speaks Chinese, the other speaks Japanese. What's the problem? Why are we having communication issues? Why is there a lack of communication? It's just it's inexcusable, you know.
The thing is, as well, there is a big example. There is NetEase is a pretty much fully Chinese company. They're not really like that globally, like Western or like English, even just like actual like staff. But they're putting in the effort. You know what I mean? Like Square Enix is a global company. They have staff that speak English. They just need to give them more responsibility or just allow them to like actually communicate. Because I'm telling you right now, if Square Enix tried to communicate where I worked, we just laughed them out the room in a Western company because the communications is just so bad with the products. And again, and I'll take this back again. I said this last week. The literal Discord app that we are using right now to speak to all you on was literally created by people who played Final Fantasy XIV and League of Legends because it was to help with the lack of communication and transparency in their communities. Riot Games got a lot better at that. They weren't that great at that at first. Square Enix just completely ignores it. Like I watched a video of one of your digital developers who works in your main office in Tokyo using Discord with their friends. So you're telling me that the staff at Square Enix cannot manage a goddamn official Discord where they can have better communications with the global player base of their goddamn game, which is supposedly got over like 1 million subscribers plus. Like, come on, dude. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And please just put some money into the communication team so that they can at least communicate what you guys are doing, because he's gonna have to pull out some big news for this like live letter in 8 days, because otherwise everyone's just gonna laugh him out the room, even if he's like the guy who originally saved the game. It's nice that like Yoshi did that, but bro, that was like nearly 10. That was 10 plus years ago now. The game's dying again, so I think you need to save it again or get someone else in to do that. Genuinely.
For sure. But for sure. We'll talk about Yoshi a little bit more later on after. Let's just talk about the forums a little bit more, just from everyone here. Obviously, everyone here literally loves this game. They want to see this game improve. Like, what other things can we add to the forums that can help the general player base or the player base's understanding? Like, so far we have no community manager. We need that for the English. No section for here is how to report PvP incidents, or them replying back, this is how we dealt with this PvP incident. We need more transparency with that. Here's where you can ask newbie questions. There's no section for that. It doesn't feel inviting because when you go there, everyone's just complaining and you're like, okay, I don't want this fucking negative vibe, I didn't come to the forums to fucking see people bitching 24/7, It just...
Something that immediately comes to mind is actually just like a hot button that immediately just gets you to the job action page specifically for PvP, because otherwise you would need to dial yourself through like the lodestone or actually know what to Google. So I think just a quick job actions big red button in that corner and then can see what's going on, and maybe also maybe like an extra button says, "These things have been updated. Check it out."
Okay, big red button shortcut that takes you to the PvP. You are 100% correct. If you wanna view the PvP specific skills, you'll have to search the PvE one, and you have to click the fucking PvP one. Sometimes the first result doesn't directly to the PvP section. So it just even getting to the PvP job skill description is a mission. To access PvP skill job description page. That's actually excellent. I didn't even think about that. You are 100% correct. You're getting more silent for me on Discord, am I?
You're actually kind of silent for me. Yeah, I'm trying to listen really hard.
Okay, my bad. Let me try it.
Gotta lean
Dub-
into the microphone.
Doubling
Yeah.
my audio. Is that better?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweet. My bad.
Turn off automatic gain, says Momo.
I'm using lots of different things, but wait, is it now affecting the volume of everyone else talking or what? I don't think it should.
Gotta test this out, I suppose, like over time.
Hello, talking. Say, someone speak over me when I'm talking. I'll keep reading out loud. Yeah.
Hello.
Loretta.
All right.
Yay.
Okay, dude. No need for that. Toxic NA gamer right there.
I kid.
You've been marked ignore 1 by Reinhard Azurheim at Alpha.
So I think what else can we add on the forums? Any NA takes on the forums? No,
That
I think yeah, I think these are so good so far. I mean, these are good so far. Ease of access to PvP information, community manager, like make the forums, give them forums more purpose. Because obviously they're not using social media or Reddit for anything productive either. Even in those places, just a complaint circle jerk.
Which is weird, like why even have a Twitter account at that point? If it's all you do is just like, hey, here's some news, and then we'll just ignore everything else.
Yeah. All right. Let's bring it around to Yoshi P. At what point in time, from your experience, do you think Yoshi P started neglecting the community, or you felt like Final Fantasy 14 was going downhill? Because obviously the man, everything goes through the man, so he's still in charge. Anyone have any takes, or they want to start, or they feel like
I don't know. I'll start because I haven't been part of the PvP community very long, but I've been part of PvE for a while. And I think personally for me, Endwalker, like the entirety of the expansion was kind of a flop for me, like from beginning to end. And I feel like I just have not I've enjoyed the game less and less and less since the end of Shadowbringers.
Okay. So for you, it's been since the end of Shadowbringers.
Yeah, same as well. I agree. I think so in Shadowbringers, a lot of World of Warcraft players and content creators from WoW came over to Final Fantasy 14, and then in Endwalker is when like Asmongold and Preach and all the big content creators came over. And even if you look on Google Trends, you can see that Final Fantasy 14 spiked like almost to its highest peak ever in player count, or I guess popularity on the internet. So obviously they got a huge surge of money during that period, and it didn't show in Endwalker, and so far it hasn't shown in Dawn Trail. So
I mean, they did make a mobile game in China, and they did release a new store somewhere. The Final Fantasy Garden Store. Anyone heard about that one?
I haven't heard about that one. I've heard about the mobile game. I mean, I guess maybe I'm in the minority. I don't care about mobile games, but
Yeah, it's that mobile game is gonna end up being better than the main games. You know, sadly, it's already getting more attention.
probably, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would agree because, I mean, what they did from a PvP perspective, what they did after Stormblood and creating CC and ending feasts and stuff like that, I think it was a needed change, but I also think that they didn't really think it through, and I think that overall it made a difference in terms of player population, but not quality.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
have actually a
go
few
on.
choice words regarding that. You first, Beretta.
I just wanted to say seasons 1 to 4, so much potential. They were actually up to season 4. They started changing things, making it look like they were gonna change the future of the game, or they started listening actively to the player base. We're seeing things get nerfed and changed, not as fast as we wanted, but they were happening, right? They you could feel the effects, and then after that, it just became dull. So the game is, this mode still has crazy levels of potential, but we need divine intervention. You know what I mean? We need the devs to start getting involved.
Well, I thought I don't know. I liked the PvP meta throughout all of Endwalker, even in season 1, and even after they did all the big nerfs and changes, I still thought it was pretty fun. And even in Dawn Trail, I mean, this last season was kind of shitty just because it was, I don't know, it did feel more like the feast healers were really relevant, but the fact that you could not have a healer on your team some games was shitty. But like so far this season, I think so far this season the game is pretty good. I wish they would have made all abilities, like every single ability that every class has or job have the new server tick change, not just some of the abilities. But other than that, I think it's in a good spot.
I agree.
So, what I wanted to say earlier is, so I agree. Like, 6.1, like the Crystalline Conflict PvP was technically like a good addition. Even though I do miss Feast, and I think they could have still had like a sort of deathmatch style of 5v5. I love Feast, but ignoring that, I think they actually fumbled a lot, like a lot of opportunities when we went into 6.1 PvP back then. Like, they basically stripped like a lot of good systems. Like, for example, the elo rating system that we had with Feast was basically completely stripped for a more visually appealing star and riser system. The what we actually get out of ranked was also kind of bad, but on the good sides at least, it made the game very accessible. Like, anyone remember like Feast days where you're like, oh no, I don't know what role is actually queuing up, and you just like sit there for like 30 minutes per match because you're asking yourself, well, when do I get to play? That is the good thing that it fixed, but there's so many things that would have also needed to happen to keep player retention. I think that is the greatest weakness that they have so far, keeping the players around, which we see season after season. Like, we're currently approaching like the end of week 2 soon, more or less. So when will the bottom ranks dry out, for example? There's no player retention for any reason.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped playing because for me it's still the same meta. At the end of the day, yeah, the animations have been changed for some of the jobs and they can burst more effectively, but green jobs are still ruling the fucking world. Fucking, it's the same.
They're weaker now.
It's the same fucking. It's the same team composition from last season to this season. Maybe you'll see Monk here and there, but then as you keep going up in ranks, you're just seeing fucking people that can stall the objective and wait for the overtime retardation. That is, for some reason, you get double speed for no fucking reason. Yeah, it's still back to there's some burst, but like the higher you go, you're still getting for EU. From what I'm from EU, you're still getting the whole stall, push to lose. People are just not doing the push to lose anymore as often. Yeah, they just need to basically, to make the season feel fresh, they need to start rewarding unlocking their point. If you unlock the point and the enemy team hasn't unlocked the point, go next fucking game, you won. Like, why is the overtime lasting longer than the base game? The whole point of overtime is supposed to end it real quick. It's just like those things. Just like thinking about queuing into that. It just sounds boring to me. So I just stopped playing. I have no issues climbing. I get whatever rank I want, or whatever rank before I get bored, regardless of what season I play. It doesn't really bother me. My issue is that if I get bored, I just can't grind. There's no purpose. There's no rewards. So I can't justify it to myself to continue grinding. Just for the sake of crystal rank, I don't care about the rank. If you give me a button right now to reset my rank, I would press the button. Like it's not irrelevant to me. That's just the way I see it.
So if they made it so the game was won after the first crystal, the whole game would just, you pretty much, like if you just fully team wipe the enemy team in the opener, then you just win the game. Because you can full team wipe and then just instantly cap, and then the game would just end. It'd be too short.
And it's already 5-minute matches. They're already super
the matches are already really short.
No, but no. You don't win just when you unlock it. You win when you have unlocked it and it's overtime. So you've unlocked the point. You still have to wait for the full 5 minute, and then as soon as that 5 minute calms down, if the enemy team hasn't unlocked it, you go next. Like, it's not about unlocking it instantly and then winning.
Maybe,
no.
I don't know. I think I mean, I do see what you mean. Like, overtime can last longer than the actual match itself, but it's rare. It's definitely rare. I'd say most of my matches are anywhere between like 3 to 8 minutes long.
And this is a problem with different regions, as a prime example, because from what I've seen of NA, people in NA actually play a bit more of a variety of the jobs. But sorry, everyone in Europe, I'm just calling everyone out here, including myself. We all just become meta slaves because we hate ourselves, and we don't allow each other to play any of the other jobs because we call them trash. Because we just play the most busted stuff because it's just busted, and then the devs don't actually like make it that unbusted, and so we just keep playing the busted stuff, and that's why you never see that's why you only end up ever seeing like the same 7 jobs in Europe in the ladder. It's just cringe, I'll be honest, but it is what it is. I get it.
Yeah, it's like that for all regions for the most part. And I mean, it was even like in the feast too. There was metas.
Yeah, but there needs to be value to unlock it. When you unlock, what happens? Nothing happens. Like, you're playing a 5 minute game, right? Yeah, like Crystal Conflict is a good ass mode for 5 minutes. You're playing a 5 minute game. If you unlock it and then the team hasn't unlocked it, you go next. You're churning more. You're playing more. You're seeing different faces. You're getting more experiences. Like in like, let's say you're playing a Dota game, a mobile game. The best way to you to climb is just FF as soon as you can. It doesn't matter if you end up winning in 50 minutes. You just want to get as many games as you can, and that's how you fucking effectively climb, and that's how you stop getting tilted. Because like, by the time you finish one big ass game, by the time you spent nearly fucking 15 minutes playing a game, you could have had 4 different fucking Crystal Conflict games. Like 3 different Crystal Conflict games, because the intro is 30 seconds for some reason. It takes you 30 seconds to get in the game.
That isn't. Yeah, it is too long. The intro.
Yeah.
I mean, I see what you mean with the overtime, because it is annoying sometimes when you break 50 and you're going around the last little bend just to get the crystal in, and then your team ends up getting wiped, and then by the time you respawn, the enemy team is already at the 50 and
Yeah.
you know, if you
They
can't
get
turn
double
around, then
movement
the game
speed. They get
is
double
over.
unlock speed. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
stupid.
Even the respawn, it's like, okay, they increased the speed, or no, they increased the time in OT for you to come back, right? Like by what, 5 seconds, like 2 seconds or something like that. But even when you come back, as soon as your screen goes black, that's another like 3-4 seconds on top of it
Yeah.
until you're like come back up and spawn back in the. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the long animations
it's
are
crazy.
the long animations
Long-ass
are the bane
animation.
are the bane of PvP in this game.
Oh God, bro.
But there
And
needs
I
to be
don't
a
know how successful hit detection was, bro. To be honest, man,
yeah.
I think that was like the worst thing they ever did.
But there needs to be a reward for playing to win, bro. There needs to be a reward. Look, I'm gonna play to whoop some ass and fucking go next game. There needs to be a reward for that. Or you know, the best thing you can do now is wait for the enemy to unlock so you can unlock double, and by the time they respawn, then you win because it's basically more cost effective for you to just wait around because the animations are so long and you win for free that way. That's the only tactic that I used to climb on an A. I did 20 games. I did 25 games, 30 games, something like that. All I did was just wait for the enemy to push, and I pushed back. Fucking plat, no problem. I just I got bored doing it. It's too effective, too powerful. If they don't want to reward you for playing to win, they need to make something. They need to slow down the pace of the game at overtime then, and that's going to become even more boring. That's going to guarantee even more games going to the full duration. Because clearly, for overtime, they need to reduce the speed at which the crystal moves and unlocks. Because it's just not fair for the enemy team. Let's say you're playing a game that you've won 7 different team fights, but you lose 1, and for that one, because the enemy team, because it's overtime, you get fucked. That sounds stupid. That doesn't sound rewarding. But you're clearly the better team.
The calling, bro.
Yeah. So I just think like unlocking the point should have value, should have meaning. When you unlock the point and the 5-minute timer is down, you go next. You know, you'll have 3 different games by the time you have 1 overtime game. It's just for me.
You bring back the calling now. You do more extra damage.
Yes.
You know, if you die or something, you're now, you know, like less than, I don't know. Just brainstorming ideas at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I had a few of those on my forum posts where it's like, yeah, bring back healer dampening, where healers do less healing and shielding, shit, or like more damage. You know, yeah. There's ways to fix overtime, but this is not just about fixing overtime. This is rewarding players for playing to win, right? Like whenever
Maybe
you
add some achievements too.
like right now, yeah, there's not enough. That's a whole different kind of beast. Like there's not enough achievements, there's not enough rewards for rank by a huge margin. The things you would get in Feast compared to what you get in Crystal Conflict are like day and night. And even if you look at the things you used to get in Feast, it's still not enough. You know, you would get exclusive armor. You would get nah, bro. You get nothing this season either.
For Dawn Show, they didn't add anything to the Wolves Den Pure.
No, yeah, they didn't even have casual
no new
rewards.
weapons, no crystal.
Nothing for casuals. No.
Oh wait, there's a Viper and a Picto weapon if you actually like that.
Yeah.
Oh
the
my,
Hellhound
yo,
Viper
let's march the streets and, you know, hold a parade for those 2 weapons, bro.
Real man.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's a whole different
honestly,
kind.
Like the reward side of things is absolutely paltry. It's not even funny at this point. It's not even ranked. Like I would say even for casual players. Like yes, we happen to have all like the Wolfmark armors and Garo, but this is like age-old content. You're asking yourself, well, what do I use trophy crystals for? Right now, most of the time, all you do is I put them into wolf colors, maybe buy a Hellhound weapon or 2, and the rest just goes into wolf marks, and you buy some materia and consumables.
Yep.
It's like even now, right? Like so many of us have so many unnecessary fucking PvP different currencies. It's like we're playing a fucking gacha game. We have crystal trophies, we have fucking commendation trophies, we have fucking Wolves Den fucking leather belts, fucking the necklace, the spike necklace, whatever the fuck it's called, wolf collar. Yeah, it's just so many redundant things. Like I just don't feel rewarding using. You know.
That's a fact.
I agree, but on on a different note, though, like I think trophy crystals, in my opinion, are a pretty big miss because essentially it's basically just Wolf Marks 2, which is still good because it actually means, hey, here's this battle pass. Please play the battle pass and be engaged with PvP. But on the other hand, it's just such a simple currency with like nothing behind it. And the items that we actually did get, what did we get? We got like virtue sets of like Heavensward artifact, or like really bad recolors of the Crystal Tower series, and like a really bad recolor of the High Elegance series. Like honestly, what we got with trophy crystals is ridiculously bad.
Yeah. 100%. Like, but that boils it down once again. You know, we have Yoshi P still trying to be the center of attention. The newsletters based around him, all the events happening based around him. Like he tries to self-insert himself in too many fucking things. At this point, like he either needs to start being honest and realize the game is dying and start communicating. I know he's a busy man. He has like 100 different fucking projects probably happening behind the scene. But the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, this game is his baby, supposedly. This game is what he wants to work for the rest of his life, as he said it himself. And we're not seeing that love. We're not seeing that fucking future. We're not seeing the vision. We've seen nearly like over 2 years, nearly 2 years of neglect when it comes to the PvP stuff specifically. Like the fact is, no forum managers, no community managers. The PvP events that are happening are like they don't even want to be there. Like when they say they want to do something, they're like in the EU community event, they'd rather play Frontlines than fucking play Crystal Conflict. Like 2 Crystal Conflict games for them felt like too much, but they wanted to play more Frontline games. It's like, come on. Because, in Frontline games, at least you can get lost. You can't hold any responsibility. But in a mode like Crystal Conflict, where they were supposed to like learn the basic fundamentals, so they could be like, hey, stream, look, I'm getting damaged right now. I'm going to use recuperate to come back into the fight. Well, I've got no resources. Let me use Elixir. There was none of that shit conveyed. It's just we're looking at fucking people first time trying Crystal Conflict. Like how? Or like they look like they were first time. I know it's not their first time playing Crystal Conflict. Yeah. It's
I just wish they made the better decisions, and I mean nothing against those people. I'm sure they're
yeah,
like
same.
great
I
at
mean,
what they do.
I wish them
But
success
have
every
somebody
day.
that are in the community, maybe
Yeah.
maybe have like well-known. Have Brian on there. Have somebody who's like known in the community, right?
Yeah. 100%. I'll even take it a step further, bro, because obviously if Square Enix is an international company, right? So it's like whatever Japanese work structure that they have going on where people have to answer to the high ups and the higher ups make a retarded decision like giving fucking making astrology a thing for 7.1, that should not happen. Like Yoshi P should know. Like that's just not gonna fly. Like how tone deaf, how fucking stupid, how fucking out of touch do you have to be with the game itself and the player base to like think to basically go back into that into the idea that hey, we don't want astrology to play this way because of fundamentals. What was it like? They removed astrologians. What did they do with astrologian and they walked back on that ideology or like?
So originally, if all of you have been playing since 6.1, you'll know that originally Astro had a AoE heavy or slash band, and they walked that back in 6.3 because it was too much of an issue. Then magically in 7.1, they apparently forgot that that was even a thing and just decided let's just add it back for no apparent reason. And now they've reverted it back again, even though they did that last expansion in like the 3rd point patch. But like apparently they forgot what happened like literally a year ago, and completely went back on it. And then again they just changed it back, so now it's just like Heavy's one guy, Barnes the other guy is like, but like yeah. So it's like the developers in the PvP even remember what changes they're actually making? Apparently not.
Yeah. 100%. Like I said, they're forgetting their own ideologies. I think maybe it's because some sort of minor leadership changed into the offices, and we can feel it because we play this mode every day. We know what promises they made, but clearly they're not keeping track of that shit. I just think they just need to start being more transparent. We just it just boils down to just more fucking communication, right? We don't need Yoshi P to print out some shit on fucking paper. Wait for it to fucking cool down and then show that shit on the screen. We need some direct communication, like it's 2025. Be like, boom, boom, boom. This is what we did today. Boom, boom, boom. This is what plans we have for the future. Boom, boom, boom. These are the issues. Yeah. The only thing I've seen is Yoshi P acting like he's playing Yakuza, like he's fucking Ichiban himself. He's like, yeah, I've got the potential to fucking put up the shadow servers, the fucking cloud servers for East Coast. I just don't want to do it. Like, what the fuck kind of answer is that, bro? Like relax with your main character shit. You have a fucking community to worry about. Stop fucking worrying about that shit. It sounds so... Ugh. But yeah, I do want to see cloud. I do want to see cloud server. I do want to see the East Coast cloud server so NA and EU can juke it out together, because obviously they put us in the same boat. They put us on the same boat, and at the end of the day, NA is having the same issues as EU. The only difference with EU is we don't have enough of a player base. But at the end of the day, we still go.
That's because no one wants to play the game, dude. Because they're neglecting it.
Exactly.
A lot of people I know left the game. Like a lot of people. They don't play anymore because they're just like, this is like, why am I playing this? And I don't have a reason anymore to tell them, come back.
Yeah, I mean, you honestly can't say to your PvP friends like, yeah, this new season is different, it's better, things have changed drastically. No, it's the same shit that was last season. It's just now that some of the animations are fixed, in quotation marks, fixed. You can't honestly say to a person that you enjoy PvP with this, yeah, this is fun. No, if you're getting bored yourself, then you can't honestly accept that. The fact is, most of you lot here try to PvP in different regions because the experience is slightly different. You're seeing different faces. In EU, it's the same 20 motherfuckers, bro. It's the same 20 motherfuckers.
No, it's the same thing on NA, bro.
Yeah, it's exactly the
even
same.
though they added
It was smaller,
friggin' DCs, bro. 4 DCs, we see the same people, bro. Maybe once in a while you'll have 2 different players on your team, where you'll just have the same, and then they'll put the same players that you lost with on your team for the next 4 matches.
Yeah. Just to add to that,
the matchmaking logic, bro? Where?
Yeah. Just to add to that as well, for them to unlock a rank behind a certain DC just so they can make it so that DC is popular for a specific period is kind of stupid. They should just let people queue up from whatever DC they're from for ranked.
That's what I'm saying.
Stop trying to push people to go to a DC or trying to make it seem like that DC is active and well just so you can look at the stats and be temporarily happy. No one fucking cares, bro. Just let people queue up for whatever.
They should just do a PvP cloud server. Everybody wants to do PvP, go on this cloud server. JP, EU.
No, Glow. Queue up from any DC to the cloud server. Yeah.
I think I may have read this somewhere earlier this day that they actually said in the live streams that they know that the situation isn't ideal with how we currently queue up and that they are working on it, but it still takes time. They're aware of the issue.
Yeah, but they say that you can only cry wolf so many times. How many times have they told us that? That's in the past 6 months, just for everything. That's the problem, dude. For me personally.
I mean, it's true. How many times can you ask to be excused? At one point, you're starting to question it. Are you just being lazy, or are you incompetent, or are you? There's so many factors. Obviously, we don't know the exact specific that's happening at the time. Obviously, they fired a lot of people from Square in general. They're short-staffed for sure here and there. But at the end of the day, this is a flagship title for them. This is their money maker. And all that money that this game made during the WoW crisis, we don't see that in the game right now. Can you honestly be honest with yourself or me or anyone and say that, yeah, they put money back after Endwalker? Are you experiencing that flux of money? Are you enjoying PvP? Are you seeing amazing changes for PvP and PvE? No. You're looking at Dawn trailer minus the whole Wukla Mao meme. like you can honestly be like, oh yeah, this whole expansion is a content drought. They used PvP. They used PvP in the cover to sell the game, but then you're getting the PvPs 3 months later, like 6 months later. Like, come on, you can't.
Yeah,
like so
wild.
you can't cry wolf about that. Yeah, that's taking the piss basically.
Yeah.
Like you can't have PvP mode as a expansion key point and be like, yeah, you're not gonna get this shit till fucking 9 months later, or even Beastmaster right now. Like still people are like, yeah, they said we're gonna get Beastmaster, but like when 8.0 comes out 3 months before 8.0, that's just taking the piss at that point. You shouldn't include that in a cover. Yeah. You shouldn't include that in a cover. You should be like, yeah, in the future you might get a fucking blue job, another blue job, right? Yeah, it's just like Korn says that, you know, crying wolf. How many times can it take the piss before you start holding people accountable? Like we're holding the community, like, you know, that's why we're being more kosher here, more like transparent here to hold people accountable when they're misbehaving. Be like, hey, listen, bro, everyone's playing this mode. We all like this mode. We just want people to have a good fucking time. Stop being a wanker, right? The same with the devs. Like, okay, you're neglecting everyone too fucking much. You've not communicated anything. You keep saying it's going to take time. It's going to take time. It's clearly taking more time than you wanted it to take time. But on the same vein, you're saying you have the potential to make these things happen. So why are you not making them happen? You know, my man said like you could make cloud server happen fucking last year, like over a year ago, and now it's like we're still here dealing with this shit with some convoluted matchmaking queue process.
I agree, man. But I don't think there's an easy solution. I really don't think there's like a quick solve. Like we're gonna
me
change
neither.
it. Next patch is gonna be completely because there's pros and cons, right? Like if you look at it back in 6.0 or no wait, not 6.0. Yeah, Endwalker. So they made no way Shadowbringer. So they changed after Stormblood, right? Even when there was the feast, we had to wait 30 minutes or like hour-long queues, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because the
Unless you
PvP
were a
was
healer.
so small, right? Yeah, unless you were a healer. But the community was so small. So they're like, okay, we have to change this because obviously, there's nobody's playing and nobody wants to budge. So what they did was they simplified it. They're like, okay, we're gonna simplify it. We're gonna bring some Overwatch kind of game mode and spice things up. We're gonna scrap the old game mode and give it, rehaul the engine. So that's what they did, and then they got a huge crowd of people to start playing PvP, which is a pro. But the con is they made it extremely simple. How many buttons do we have now? Right? Like we have like
10
the
buttons now.
6 buttons, like 7 buttons that I feel like.
And Shadowbringers was pruned too, compared to Stormblood, like very pruned.
Right, and it just feels like they made it so simple and they dumbed it down so much where now it's like, okay, how much fun are we actually having now? Because now we're okay, yes, it's more simpler. We have more players, we never had a 24/7 queue like casuals, but now the quality has gone down. That's just to round back what I was saying before. The quality has gone down. Okay, we got quantity, but we don't have quality. You get what I'm saying? There's no skill expression.
well,
How much can you show? How much can you show in a game how good you are, right? And I think that's what pushes people to being like, fuck it, where I guess they want to win trade to feel, I don't know, they don't want to be bothered with it. I don't understand it, but that's what I think.
a big issue, in my opinion, is because, like you said, they're so determined to have like this 7-button like only shit as well that like they do that at the detriment of some of the jobs, because some of the jobs just don't make sense, and the way they do that to shoehorn skills in is they do buttons that combo into other buttons that just shouldn't that should just not be together. Like there's too many skills where your defensive is used to do your offensive, which just don't make sense, and they should just be separate buttons, in my opinion. But they just try to shoehorn it all into one button, and it just makes it worse as a player as well. If you've got a defensive where your defensive is literally your offensive, so it's like you either waste the defensive for no reason to do offensive damage, and then you don't have it, or you don't have burst, and it's just like, why?
Yeah,
Why have
and
you got skills like that?
the all of what you're saying is exactly like mirrored in the PvE as well. Like people are just not happy with how easy the jobs have become, and like
Too easy.
it's a general
Mhm.
it's a general like just design decision to simplify and like
Simplify.
yeah,
It's quantity. It's quantity over quality. Make the game harder and watch how many people will come back, because they'll be like, okay, now it's actually difficult. So now I actually have to really actually use my brain to play, and I can't get up to Crystal by playing 1,000 matches like some people do. Right? Some people
Yeah.
play every single season. They play 10,000 fucking matches in one season just to get the Crystal and be like, yeah, I made Crystal, I made top 100. Not actually knowing how to play because they play every season and they're still bad. And at the same time, maybe it's the community's fault that we don't help them, but at the same time, it's the game is so easy where it's like they can do stuff like that. They can get carried up to Crystal and top 300, right?
Well, that's
So
because
why
the
don't you
game.
make them?
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna add. Why don't you add some more depth to the game? Why don't you add some more difficulty? Why don't we have an ultimate raid for like a PvP side? Not ultimate, but you get what I'm saying. Like add some difficulty. Add like an extreme league into PvP or something. You have to be top 300 to enter this league, or you have to have like a certain rank in this league. You have to be endless in this league. You have to be, maybe not final conflict because they're all, you know, but just make it harder. Like add some depth, add some complexity, add some kind of um, skill expression like you did in Stormblood. Stormblood was good. Stormblood was the best in my opinion because it actually required skill. And it actually, you could actually theory craft in Stormblood. You can
I just
actually duel and have fun in Stormblood. But now it's because it's quantity over quality. Now it's just like, oh, I'm just playing because it's so simple.
but
That's
just to
all.
add to that, the fact is, the devs of this game don't have the fucking balls to fucking make changes because they don't want to upset their fucking player base. Like they're playing lava, they're moving to they don't want to upset anyone. They want to try to make everyone
No,
happy.
but that's bullshit, Brandon. No, that's
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah,
How
exactly. But
how are you
that's
gonna
what's happening.
upset the PvPers right now, bro? How
Yeah,
you
that's
gonna
the
upset
issue.
us?
They don't want to.
Upset.
They don't want to meta change the green jobs being, doing more than they should be doing. They don't want to accept the fact that there's compounded effects on jobs like Red Mage and Gunbreaker. They don't want to upset people like that. But it's becoming so stale now that they're running out of ground, and we're still not seeing meaningful changes from season to season. Like they should just full commit. Like, listen, guys, we're sick and tired of seeing the same fucking shit. Here's something completely different. And then you start learning from that. They're not making changes for the sake of, fuck it, YOLO. Just so they can completely ruin green job, completely ruin melee, completely ruin range for like a season, from season to season. Eventually you'll come back, you'll learn from that, you'll start refining from that. They just don't have the balls to like fully commit changes. In the patch notes, it's AI generated. For example, one of the examples I used was they were talking about Red Mage. Like, Red Mage has too much mobility, he's doing too much, he has too much damage, too much everything, too many compounded effects. And then on the actual descriptions, we changed the shield by 1k potency. Like, what? What did I just read? Like, why is that not reflected in the change?
Yeah.
So they just need the balls to like fully commit and make changes, and just to make the game feel fresh. Are you telling me the game feels fresh from last season? Absolutely not, because the players are bored already.
But I do like that it's faster. I like this version better than the last version. I'll say that. It doesn't feel
Yeah.
fresh, but if at least it's like when I press the button, it actually goes off. Like I don't have to wait for the slip detector.
I wouldn't know what that feels like. I have to wait for my
Kinda thing.
Hyosho to. I have to wait for my Hyosho to go on holiday, come back, and then land, bro.
Yeah, I don't feel. I
bro.
don't know what's going on there, bro.
That's the
Uh,
problem. They've done it for some schools, but for other schools, it's still absolutely dog shit. Look at
That's
like
why. Why would you just pick and choose skills? Why don't you just do it for everything?
Paladin's another good example of that when they use impromptu. I can't even remember what the hell the skill's called now, but Jesus Christ, you literally get stuck in the animation. It's actually cringe. I don't know Paladin players.
Oh, Imperator, I know that one.
Yeah. You literally just get stuck in the literal animation. You can't use anything. Like,
It's
actually
even
cringe.
It's actually even worse when you think about it, because you're trying to use Imperator and like, oh, did I hit the button? Did I hit the button? And you immediately just queued Confiteor because that's how the queuing system works.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
And by the time you get it off, you're already like bursted down to like 30% health.
they just need to go through every fucking skill and make it more PvP. They just need to go through every animation and make it more PvP succinct. You know, like they just need to cut down the flashy shit. The game, there's a billion fucking effects happening on screen anyway. It's already flashy as it is. We don't need fucking animations, fucking taking more longer than people take to G-pose as a beast mode. You know.
At least you can turn them off, but yeah.
Yeah.
You know what would be cool if you had an Alpha Wolf League? Like you have to be Alpha Wolf.
P-Star?
Or like you had a Unrelenting League, or like a Ralger's Right Fist League, something like that.
What do you want to do with
Some.
those leagues, though? Like, what do
Not
you mean?
even leagues, like just like some little like lobby where it's just y'all and y'all just play together and like, because that would be high skill. Like you need a lot of games you'd have experience and you know at least you're playing with some skilled players, right? I don't know. I'm
Well,
just brainstorming some things that to spice it up. Like I don't have the solution, but at least like I'm thinking, hey, you know what? Maybe spice it up somehow. I don't know.
yeah. I think the community's a little too small to do that.
Yeah,
Like for
probably a
Alpha
little too
Wolf, I
small.
mean. Yeah,
But
exactly.
you know, the
All 10
cloud
Alpha
server
Wolves,
would
yeah.
be dope, right?
I think, yeah, definitely. I think that would just divide the player base a little bit more. We don't need the player base divided, but we do need some sort of standard to enter a rank. Like 20 games, 25 games is still too little to enter rank, but people need to do some sort of X amount of games in their job before they can start doing ranked, you know?
I have
Just so
a
they can have that.
suggestion for that, actually.
Yeah, you're right.
We
Something,
actually
man.
do. Sorry, you go first.
No, I just said I was just thinking of something, you know, like something to
So
bring some kind of spice.
Regarding those minimum requirements, we actually do have achievements that we could make use of that, quite literally. Like you know you have these achievements. I played my first match as a tank. Like there's achievements for like 1, 20, 50. Like specifically the 100 gauge for a role would be quite important if you ask me. Like, hey, win like 50 or 100 matches as a tank before you even queue up ranked as a tank, for example.
Right.
I think that might kill the queues, but
Well, maybe do it until gold, and then like to get to platinum, you have to play at least. I don't know. At least we're brainstorming some. You know, we're really doing
That's
the
fair.
devs' jobs for them.
I mean, on the other hand, what you also could think about is, well, since bronze to gold is basically like the training steps of ranked.
Yeah.
Is that something simply needs to happen, that those queues simply don't dry up in the first place?
yeah, no, something to keep low bracket participation throughout the season would definitely be good. I
No
don't
rank
think
currency.
gatekeeping people on casual things would be good. I mean, and I don't know. I mean, I know I know I talk to people that feel like if they don't play right away, they just get stuck with a bunch of shitty players in that lower bracket. But I mean, if you're good at the game, you can still rank a character up. Will it be as easy? Yeah, probably not. But you can still do it. You just Like if I go into to bronze, for example, like right now, I mean, you can tell all the players are, you know, not good at the game. You'll just be able to run
which is
circles around
fine
them.
actually.
Yeah, it's good. It's like as good as like that.
Yeah. But what
I mean-
matters more
Go on.
importantly is that eventually the players feel like, hey, even though I am bronze, silver, gold, whatever, I still feel like I want to play. Because A, I have fun. B, I at least get something small out of it. I will keep the discussion for something else though. And well, they just want to basically feel like their time is somewhat respected.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the thing is, you're also worrying about something that's completely irrelevant. Right now, we're already going through that fucking phase that you're talking about. Right now, there's no new blood. Right now, the game is dead. Like, you know, it's the same 20 fucking people. So that boat is already fucking sailed, bro. The issue is now, like, how do you make those standards? Like, okay, we can make it easier for people to queue up rank, right? Let's say you queue up a rank from gold to bronze, right? Okay, you can queue up without any limits, sure. And then after you get to plat, you'll be like, okay, to queue up for this job, you need to have 20 games played in this job, in not casual, whatever the fuck, how they want to calculate it. Or you need to have like if you switch to that job, it needs to put you down to plat again or something, and be like, play 10 qualifier matches to fucking get queued up, ranked up again, or something like that, just to make it fresh. Or like just like in a mobile game, is, for example, mobile game ranked, it's very easy to get involved, right? You can play ranked. You can play a rank, and then as soon as you get to the higher ranks, the last 3 ranks, you know, they start introducing bans. They start introducing different ways to limit, or like to like make the player make you be in more control of the game, or like they start giving you extra abilities or stuff like that. You know, like they can easily do that stuff. Like they can easily control the standard of gaming at the higher echelons, but they don't bother with anything. Like I said, zero communication, right?
They could absolutely do something like that. Like, remember when we had like role actions, but like choosable ones?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
didn't
but
they
the-
add something like that in
well,
Frontlines now?
they will with 7.2.
Oh, I see.
It's still in the works, but yeah, like as long as we actually have like, hey, here's some optional stuff, but it's not like here's 5 actions, but actually only 2 of them are actually good, and they are actually important for your baseline. Something like Rampart back then. Why would you ever put that into role actions? Thank you. Important is that we actually have a bit of choice. Like, oh no, I don't have a healer. What do I do? Well, maybe I slot the extra thing that gives me a bit of mitigation or something. Otherwise, I could slot in CC or
Right.
maybe something that gives me like extra mobility.
Yeah, like
excellent.
there's so many things. Like we're just a bunch of like dudes chilling, like playing PvP. We brainstormed a bunch of ideas, and I'm pretty sure the devs can do the same fucking thing, you know. But they're not bothering. That's our issue right now. And it's like it's about spreading the message. It's about just doing your part, like just demanding some sort of communication from the fucking core team. Like Con said, no official Discord, like the official forums, no fucking official English forum thread, no official community manager. There's so many things missing. It's just, you can't excuse them for this. It's inexcusable. That's just lazy. That just boils down to being lazy.
Yep.
Please make resilience 5 seconds from 3 seconds.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Please,
please, bro.
Crowd control is too
please.
much.
Please, everyone who plays high ranks asking for it, because I love sitting there for like 10 seconds and not being able to play the game, literally. Like,
Oh god, bro.
like it's just unreal. Like, you guys were like, yo, we're gonna change the game, but we're gonna add like 20 more stuns and like bans,
Right.
heavies, whatever. But then we're also just gonna randomly reduce resilience down to 3 seconds from 5 seconds. Like, what the hell? What the hell were you guys smoking crack or something in the dev team when you did that? Like, I
there has to have
really
been.
don't know. I really questioned their logic when they did that. Like, genuinely.
Yeah, this was good. Like I said, there was some drama happening on NA, but the community obviously is helping each other out. It's good to call people out, but it's also very good to be transparent, so that way people don't have that fuel to be like, yeah, but how do you know? You know, like you just want the community to be like cohesive, strong together. Be like, yeah, boom, boom, boom. This happened. This is the transparency. We know who the bad apples are. You know. And yeah, we can all agree as well that. Yeah, devs, please, man, start communicating. How the fuck is Yoshi P gonna go Brazil, fucking watch two fucking Ishtola fucking cosplay with big batties fucking doing twerks for him, but he can't communicate English with me about the game service I'm paying for? How is he gonna go to fucking Middle East and enjoy some belly dancing Ishtola cosplayers, but still refuses to communicate? Come on, like, are you taking a piss at this point? You know?
Maybe he just likes the belly dancer cosplayers.
Listen. I'm Yoshi P, right? I'd be enjoying me some Brazilian Ishtola cosplays. I'm not gonna lie. But do me a favor, my podcast. Can you go to my chat and spam your Twitch or your Twitter or whatever social you use, please?
Links active?
Yeah.
Based.
Spam that shit for the next 10 seconds or so. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Shout out to Doha. Shout out to Con. Shout out to Ninsky. Shout out to Noodles and Wind. The Fushino Kaze. Make sure you lot follow them. Show them some love. Great chat. At the end of the day, EU and NA tend to do the same shit. It's just different approaches. So it's good to be like connected with each other and have a talk about that. Just spam that. Don't just post it once. Spam that shit. Spam it, boy.
Appreciate you, dog.
Appreciate you guys as
Do
well.
this more often, man. Like,
yeah, I already do it once. I already do it once a week. So if there's any subjects or if you guys want to take over as lead and use this as the platform, let me know.
100, bro.
Yeah, post your shit. Go hard. Bondbox Momo wants to know. Ninsky, do you stream Ninsky or?
No, I don't do anything. Sorry.
It's all right, bro.
That's all right. Not everyone can stream. We need views as well. Come on, guys.
Fushino Kaza, link it, bro. Hype that shit.